Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Regina and Friends Crime Chat. If you guys wouldn't mind on your way in, please hit that like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to try to make this really quick because I'm actually very sick. For those of you who don't know, I have COVID, so I would ask for prayers from everyone, please. Um, with that said, you guys, I would like to cover really quick. I just would like to give y'all some information about. Some things that have been posted and said online. And this in particular is what I am talking about. This is the post that has been shared with everyone. And as you can see, Tony Mathis himself posted this. I do believe Nick the Hat retweeted it, and this came like from Dog the Bounty Hunters page or whatever. But this is directly from Tony Mathis posted this, as you can see. Um, and it says press release from Dogs Group. At Night has been retained by a private individual or entity to provide services to Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian Rogers, to assist in the search for Sebastian and facilitate the arrest and prosecution of the individual or individuals, it's got a S apostrophes, responsible for his disappearance. This collaboration is contingent on Seth's full and continued cooperation, which has already been demonstrated. At Night will act independently from law enforcement, applying its own rigorous protocols and treating all persons of interest with equal scrutiny. I doubt that. But, anyways, information will be shared with federal law enforcement officers in real time, ensuring a cohesive and transparent flow of actionable intelligence through the investigation. Now, listen to this part. At Night's common commitment to the case involves deploying an array of advanced investigative techniques and methodologies. This includes conducting various tests such as hypnotization and the strategic use of psychoactive compounds, ethanol, scopolamine, 3 whatever benzolate, midazolam, fluentrazepam, sodium tipentanol, and barbiturol, among others. These substances, employed in controlled settings, are part of At-Night's approach to extract critical information from subjects who may be otherwise unwilling or unable to cooperate. And this is where I tend to have an issue with these statements. And let me explain to you why. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you the process of how to find this information for yourself um, as we go along. So let's start with this one. This is where it all started with sodium tipentanol being illegal in the United States, which was one of the drugs on the list, as you know, that was being what they were talking about using as a truth serum. So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued a final order refusing to release illegally imported medicines that the state of Texas and Arizona had intended to use in executions. Okay. And I know y'all are going to say, yeah, but they were going to use the drug in an execution. Well, there's more to it than just that. Um, it's not just about the drug itself being imported, it's what it was being imported for. But the United States later um, said that it wasn't going to allow any. On April 20th, 2017, the FDA notified prison officials that it would not release the two states' shipments of 1,000 vials each of sodium pentanol that the FDA had seized at U.S. airports in October 2015 when the states had attempted to import the drug from a supplier in India. Both shipments were halted by the airport by FDA officials, who said the importation of the drugs violated federal regulations. A third shipment of 1,000 vials of the drug by was ordered by Nebraska was halted by FedEx before it left India because the shipment company was not provided paperwork indicating FDA approval to import the drugs. Sodium pentanol is anesthetic widely used in executions prior to 2010. Okay, this is also the same drug that killed Marilyn Monroe, Jimi Hendrix, and so many others. It's a very, very dangerous drug. You have to be um, especially licensed and have legitimate use for the drug as an anesthetic to even prescribe it. Okay. Um, it takes next, and I'm fixing to demonstrate all of that for you. Just bear with me, please. Um, this is all demonstrated in the following that I'm going to be sending you. Since 2012, Texas has used blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you can go back and read this article if you want. Um, I will uh, share the link in the description. So, but there you go. That's what started the whole um, sodium fentanyl not being legal to use in the United States was because it was being used as um, an execution method. Just this moment, please. Excuse me. Um, so here is the second part to that. Not only did the U.S. Um, refuse to import it, but they actually banned it. And there's more to it. I'm fixing to show you that. Bear with me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sick. Let me find it real quick. Uh, that's not it. Here we go. Oh no, that's not it either. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of order, you guys. Please bear with me. I'm sick. Um, Here we go. Although this is part of an article, and I'll put that description in the link too, but this is also, I'm fixing to reiterate it with this constitutional ruling because I actually have the constitutional ruling I'm going to pull up and show to you. If you'll notice here, it says that um, even though, true serum drugs have not been proven completely effective, they are commonly used in various parts of the world. However, truth inducing drugs are considered unconstitutional and unethical under international law and are classified as a form of torture. Still, they were using it in India in 2008, but that doesn't matter. In the United States, it is illegal to use any drug against someone as a truth serum without their consent. Okay, and that goes back to the post that was written and that Tony Mathis posted from Dog the Bounty Hunters group, is that it was for unwilling or unable to cooperate people. So if they are legitimately going to try and use truth serums against people who are unwilling to cooperate, first of all, they are violating their constitutional rights. And I actually have that here. And I will post the link to this in the chat below. But if you'll look here, um, yeah, administration of truth serums without consent. So if you will look here, it says, this is page 1, um, the second paragraph. And this is, of course, about, using truth serum drugs on prisoners. This was, let's see, where is it? Right here. It is conceivable that such progress would be seriously interfered with or halted altogether if enough prisoners refused to submit to diagnostic and therapeutic procedures which the medical staff considers necessary to determine whether a violation of prison rules was involved or whether treatment was necessary to restore them to their physical or mental status which would enable them to take part in and benefit from the rehabilitation progress. In many cases of suspect malingering, for instance, it is very, oh, I forgot to hit record. No, I hit it again. Okay, sorry. I'm sick. um, for instance, it is very difficult to tell whether this is a result of psychosis or it is being faked. The truth can sometimes be determined by an interview while the inmate is under the influence of sodium amytal, which is another truth serum drug. In one case at Terre Haute, the suspect malingerer was given an injection of sodium amytal intravenously and interviewed by the psychiatrist while under the influence of the drug. Malingering was established by this procedure, but the inmate was very agitated because he had not given his consent and threatened to sue the doctor for malpractice. In his reply of November 12th, yada yada, Mr. Berger reserved opinion on and referred to this office for consideration the problem of whether the questioning of prisoners while under influence of truth serum or other drugs is a violation of their constitutional rights. From that exchange of communication, it is quite clear that the problem presented to me relates only to specifically to the involuntary administration of drugs in order to obtain an admission of truth or falsity of the facts from a prisoner. My reply is limited to the narrow question. It does not concern this administration of sodium amytal or any other drug for medical or therapeutic purposes, with or without any other drug for medical or therapeutic purposes, with or without consent of the suspects, with or without the suspect's consent, or even the employment of such drugs for truth or other purposes, with the subject's consent. The matters require separate consideration. It is well to understand at the outset the the admonita- the admonition of the courts that though a person is in lawful custody, his conviction and incarceration deprive him only of such liberties as the law has ordered, he shall suffer for his transgressions. A prisoner retains all rights of the ordinary citizen except those expressly or by necessary implications taken from him by law. While the law does take his liberty and impose a duty of servitude and observance of discipline for his regulation and that of other prisoners, it does not deny him from his right to personal security against unlawful invasion. And that, my friends, is what makes it illegal to use truth serum against someone, because it is a violation of your constitutional right. And if I'm not mistaken, the Fifth Amendment, to be more specifically um, correct. Thus, this we may assume sufficiently stated the principle that conviction for crime does not result in the. Anyways, what this is getting at, and you guys can pull it up and break it all down for yourselves. What it's getting at is it's not constitutional to interrogate anyone with truth serums that is being uncooperative or unwilling. Okay, so using sodium, it further states, let me see, I don't know where. Okay, listen to this. Such authority is not unlimited. Trespass upon one person can be equally offensive to the Constitution, whether the subject is free or a convict. This was made wholly clear by Justice uh, Brendes in Olmsted versus U.S. 277 U.S. 438, 1928. Okay, so literally, whether you're a prisoner or not, whether you've been arrested or not by anyone, it is unconstitutional for anyone to use these drugs against you without your consent. And see, that's where I have the problem with the statement that was made. Because if the person's unwilling to cooperate or they're unable to cooperate, using these drugs against them is unconstitutional without written consent. As a matter of fact, it is unethical. And it being unethical if a doctor knowingly prescribes these drugs to be used against another person for a truth serum reason to be prescribing these drugs, the doctor could be in some serious trouble, you guys, because it's all based on consent. However, using truth serums is completely banned in the United States, as far as I can tell. Now, with what I said earlier about sodium pentanol, what I would like to share with you all is there a legal reason to use sodium pentanol, right? Well, apparently, yes and no. Okay. Um, Here is the drug uh, sheet for sodium pentanol. And I'll be sure and put this in the description below as well. But as you can see here, it gives you the general uses from sodium pentanol, right? And then it goes down here and it gives hold on just a second. Okay. However, sorry about that. Um, however, I would like to point this out. Indications and usage for pentothal, which is a form of sodium pentyl. Uh, for injection is indicated as a sole anesthetic agent used for brief 15-minute procedures. 2. For induction of anesthesia prior to administration of other anesthetic agents. 3. To supplement general anesthesia. 4. To provide hypnosis during balanced anesthesia with other agents for anesthesia or muscle relaxation, for the control of convulsive states during or following inhalation anesthesia, local anesthesia, or other causes. In neurosurgical patients with decreased intracranial pressure, with increased intracranial cranial pressure, sorry, if adequate ventilation is provided, and for narcoanalysis and narcosynthesis of psychiatric disorders. If you will notice on this list, that is why none of them say for truth serum, because using it as a truth serum is illegal for any free moving person or person who is a convict, as you can tell from the Supreme Court ruling that made it illegal to use it as a truth serum. So, what does it mean whenever you misuse a drug or you use it something for its intended purpose? Well, that means you have abused the drug. And that's what I would like to get to now. You okay, honey? Sorry, you guys. My whole household's sick. We all have COVID. So, that is why I would like to present this. Oh, and as you, let me go back to something for just a second. I'm so sorry. Um, didn't close it, did I? Wait, I did show it. It's on there. Anyways, as you seen on there, I'm so sick I can barely think. I'm trying to get this out for you guys though. Sodium pentanol is a Schedule 3 drug according to the Food and Drug Administration. So let's pull that up. And this is the federal penalties for misusing a Schedule 3 drug. Possession of a controlled substance classified as a Schedule 3 of the Drug Control Act upon a conviction exposes the violator to a misdemeanor conviction for which the punishment is confinement in jail for up to 12 months and a fine of $2,500, either or both. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad or anything, right? But you can't just take into account the federal repercussions of it, because do you know what else people have to adhere to? The state regulations for the drug and the scheduled drug and the punishments of having in possession said drug. So let's pull up this, and this is a Knoxville attorney, Eldridge and Cravens, PC, attorneys at law. And we're just going to scroll down here to the Schedule 3 drug section. Schedule 3 drugs. Schedule 3 drugs are less dangerous than Schedule 2 drugs, though they are still frequently abused. Drugs in this tier include antibiotic steroids, hydrocodone, and ketamine. We all know about ketamine Um, we've all heard a lot about ketamine recently, and I'm so sick and I'm having a brain toot and I feel awful about it because I know his name and I can't recall it at this moment. Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry died of a ketamine overdose, right? There's people been arrested because the doctor prescribed him ketamine beyond the actual medicinal uses of ketamine, correct? That falls under malpractice and it's unethical. And she's probably going to lose her license over it and just everything, right? Because when you misuse a drug or you're a doctor that allows knowingly or knowingly write, I'm sorry, I said allows. If you're a doctor that knowingly writes a prescription for a drug, knowing it's going to be used unethically, you can lose your license and face jail and prison time over it. And this is Texas. Okay, it says drug offenses involving Schedule 3 drugs are Class D felonies, punishable by a prison sentence of up to 2 to 4 years and a fine of up to $50,000. But what else you have to take into account is conspiracy to commit a felony in Tennessee. In Tennessee, conspiracy to commit a felony is a continuing course of conduct that can result in a felony conviction. So they're saying that they're going to use these drugs in an illegal manner that can be a felony and is a violation of constitutional rights against people who are unwilling or unable to give them information. Hmm. Sounds like the sounds like conspiracy to commit a felony to me. I mean, they're literally putting it on a web page that they are going to use these drugs against people, conspiring to commit a felony. Why? Not necessarily what drugs. First of all, let me explain this to you. They're Schedule 3 drugs, which means only licensed physicians with a specialty can administer those drugs, period. First of all. Second of all, they are planning to misuse those drugs and use them as a truth serum, which is against constitutional rights of all of us. They're conspiring to commit a felony if they use these drugs against anyone who is unwilling to cooperate. Do you see? Are you picking up what I'm laying down, you guys? Like, either this is written by someone who has watched way too many spy movies, like True Lies. Y'all know that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They kidnapped him. They uh, gave him sodium, typentanol, the truth serum, remember, and the whole, yeah, all that. Okay. So I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to dog on anyone, but the fact is, when you look at the legalities of it, this is conspiring to commit a felony if they use these drugs against anyone unwillingly, period. End of story. It is a violation of their constitutional rights, and it is wrong, for starters. So I just wanted to point that all out to y'all. Um, thank you all for listening. Um, I'm sorry. I'm real sick, you guys. I just wanted to put this out here for y'all because I thought this was very valuable information to know since people are making such outrageous claims of things that they're going to do. Because the fact of the matter remains, either someone thinks that they are like 007 out here going to use truth serums against people against their will, which is a felony, okay? Or these people are serious that they are going to use these drugs, which can be lethal at worst and are unconstitutional at best against unwilling participants to get information out of them. So this is either laughable or scary. You decide. It's your choice to decide. I just thought that y'all should know, the real truth behind it and stuff. So, because I'm sick and I didn't get to go over all these documents like I wanted to, and I'm losing my voice, I'm going to go ahead and put all of the links in the description below for all of this that I've shared with y'all, including the Supreme Court rulings on it. I'll put the link to the PDF for it and stuff in the links below. You guys, please hit that like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate all of your time. Um, thank you for listening. And you guys, share a smile and save a life. You never know. The life you save might even just be your own. Do something kind for somebody. If for no other reason than just to feel good that you did something good for somebody. It's a blessing. And lock your doors and windows and stay safe. It's crazy out here. I mean, as you can see, there's people threatening to use truth serum drugs against other people that are unwilling to cooperate. Okay? So just be careful out here. It's crazy. And with that said, you guys, blessings and good night.